The next one is called as decision making and looping. Looping. What is the meaning of looping here? Now, in programming, the situation occurs where we have to run the statement, the same statement you have to run multiple times. Then what you have to do, for example, if you have one statement and that statement has to be run a number of times, then we have to write, for example, 10 times I have to run, then I have to write the same statement 10 times. Just imagine I want to run the same statement 50 times. I have to write the statement 50 times. As the number of repetition increase, the same statement has to be written multiple times, which will make our program very difficult to read and illogical. To overcome such problem, we are using a technique called as looping. What is the meaning of looping? Looping means the process of repeatedly executing a block of statement, which is called as looping. The block of statement is there. That statement you have run continuously means many times. Same statement or block of statement you run many times. So that is called as looping. If the loop starts and it never ends, it may continuously looping without any exit. Such type of loop, a continuous forever, such type of loop is called as infinite loop. In Java, we are not using much the infinite loop. It's a less use in Java, which is used creating just most of the times using goto statement. It's a less use in Java. Whenever we create a loop, there may be certain condition we have to check. If that condition will be met, our loop will be stopped or exit. That is called as decision making and looping. A certain condition met or looping stops. So such type of looping we have to create in Java. To create such type of decision making loop, we need two segments, two parts. The first part is called as body of the loop. The statement which will execute repeatedly, that part is called as body of the loop. And the second part is called as control statement. The control statement means the statement which check whether the body of the loop execute another time or not. That is, decision will be taken by this control statement. If this control statement returns true, again one more time the body of the loop executed. So these are the two parts of the looping. In looping is classified into two types, entry controlled and exit control loop. Entry control loop means this control statement will be visible at the first. That means first the condition test will be done. The control statement will be executed first. If the condition is returned true, then the body of the loop will be executed. If this control statement returns false, then the body of the control will be exit. It never execute. So the condition will be checked at the beginning. It's called as the entry control loop. If the same entry control will be checked at the end, that means one time the body of the loop will be executed, then the condition will be checked. If it will return true, again it will run the body of the condition. That means the checking will be done after executing of the body of the loop. Such type of loop is called as exit control loop. Now this is explained with some flowchart here. Now the condition will be checked here. If the condition is true, then the body of the loop will be executed. Then again, the next time the condition will be checked. And this process will be continuous until the test condition is true. Once the test condition is false, come out of the loop. This is called as exit control loop. Here, exit control loop here. One time this body of the loop will be executed first, then the testing will be done. If this is true, then if this is false, if this test condition is false, then again the looping will be done. If the test condition is false, come out of the loop. This is the way of actually our exit control loop. If the test condition is false here, then the loop. If the test condition is true, exit from the loop. Now, in Java, we have three types of looping: while loop, do while, or for loop. Depending on our requirements, we choose one of these. The while and for loop are called as entry control loop, and do is actually called as exit control loop. If you want to first run the code, then check for the condition, we have to use do while. First we have to check the condition, then run the body part, then we have to use either while or for loop. While loop will be used. The first one is called as while statement. The while statement will be used when we don't know how many times this body of the loop actually executed. We can't guess when this test condition becomes true. Now this is the general form of our while loop. Now we done some initialization of the value here, and we done some here conditional check here. While loop contains a conditional check here. If this condition is true, then body of the loop will be executed one more time and check again the test condition. After every body of the loop execution, this test condition will be checked. If this is true, then again it will run. Like this process continues until this test condition is false. Now the while statement will be executed. We have uncertain. We don't know how many times this body of the loop executed. When this test condition became false, we exactly don't know. In that situation, we are using while loop. Now this is one small example is given. Here, when the n value becomes 10, our while loop exit. Okay. Now n value start from 1 up to 10, our program exit here. So it will find out some total here, display value. This is one example for while loop. Okay. Now this is an example for do while. In do while statement, as I told, it's a exit control loop. So the body part of the loop will be executed at least once. After that, the condition check will be done. If this condition will be false, again the body of the loop will be executed. Otherwise, if the while returns here true, if this test condition is true, okay, then the do while loop exit. Okay, this is the way our do while loop works. Now see here, first we store here I is equal to 1. The same example is given here, which is given in the previous while loop. I is initialized to 1 and find some total here, and once checked here. I value is lesser than 10. If the I value is lesser than 10, then go for again the looping. When this condition is true, okay, it is exiting. The next one is called as for statement. As I told, when we don't know how many times this loop will be executed, in that case we are using while loop. But we know how many times this body of the loop will be executed. Exactly we know how many times. In that case we are using for statement. The for statement has three parameters here like this way. The first part is initialization, test condition and increment. Initialization means we are initializing some variables here, and that variable will be tested. Whatever the variable we initialize here, it is tested in the test condition. If it returns true, this test condition returns true, execute the body part. This body part will be executed. Once all the body part will be execution will be done, it will increment the variable here. Again, after the incrementation, the test condition will be done. Now I will show you. First, the initialization will be done. Once the initialization done, it will do the testing condition here. When it will return true here, it goes to the body part. The body execution will be done. Once the body execution will be done, the increment section will be executed. Once the increment section will be executed is done, again the condition will be checked here. If again it is true, go to the body part execution done, do the increment, then again for the check condition. This loop continues until this test condition becomes false. It will increment up to a particular level. After that, this test condition false and exit from the for loop. Now the previous example which is given to display the this is a very good example for loop. Now x value is initialized to 0 and here checking will be done. The x will be executed here up to 9. Whenever the x value reaches 9, it exit. Okay, now the incrementation will be done here. Here x value is incremented in each loop. What happens? X is initialized to 0. Check the condition. 0 is less than 9. True. Go for a display. Once the display of 0 is done, go for an increment. Now the x value becomes 1. 1 is less than 9. Go for again display. This process continues until the value of x becomes 10. When the value of this becomes 10, exit from the for loop. Now this is a very good example for loop. Now this is the general syntax of all the 3 loops. In Java, we have one more type of loop, that is enhanced for loop. This type of loop is available in Java and newer version of programming languages. If the for loop contains 2 parts, one is called as here, the left part is called as type and identifier, and here we have an expression. This type of for loop is used when you want to collect one element from the collection and do some work on that element. For example, we have an array. We have to take element by element from array and do some job on that element. For that one, we have a loop for loop called as enhanced for loop. The general form is like this way: for type, here which type of data you are collecting here. Okay, type of here identifier. Okay, and here is a collection. Actually, expression is actually a collection of data. Now see the example here. I have one array here which contains some value like 56, 48, 79. Now this is a normal your for loop which you done in the previous example. I have 3 elements, so I start from k is equal to 0 to k up to 3. Okay, here actually k is lesser than 3 here. It's not equal here. It's a k is lesser than 3, k plus plus. Okay, if the k value is here, if that numeric value is like this one, display something. Okay, this part is not important here. This is important for loop. Now the same expression can be written. The same expression or same coding will be done in similar way here. What I done here? Here I have to count how many elements are there in the array. Here the mistake is done by the programmer. K you are comparing, the mistake is done by the programmer. Now here I don't need how many elements in the array. What actually this for loop will do, it will take the first element from the array, num array, that is 56, to take the first element from the num array and give it to a variable called as k. Now here the operation is done on the k, that is 56 will be compared here, and just display some value here. In the next for loop, it takes the 48 as the element and give it to the k, and that operation will be done on the 48 here. In the next for loop, it gives the 79 to k and do the operation on here. 79 will be compared with 50 and 100 and do some operation here. That means this statement will be executed 3 times. It depends on how many elements are there. Depending on that one, it will execute 3 times. Okay, this is the right angle brackets here. Okay, now it will execute the number of elements. So it will make the programmer easy. You don't need to remember how many elements in the array or how many elements in the collection. Just read one by one elements and give it to the program logic. This is called as enhanced for loop.